My name is Vrolijk, and I guess everyone starts by saying it does get better, which it does. And I was thinking about why it gets better. And I think for me, I felt very alone. As a child, I did not know anyone who was like me. Way before I knew that I was gay, I was not gender normative. I cut all my hair off when I was 5 years old, and I grew up in Houston, Texas, and I would be in the bathroom and some woman would freak out, and I felt a lot of shame around it. I felt a lot of shame around who I was, and when I was 7 or 8, I was sent to a therapist, and I was diagnosed with gender identity disorder, and she was trying to treat me for it, and so by the time I realized that I liked girls, which was like 4th grade, I very distinctly remember realizing that and being like, I will never tell anyone of this. This is something that is not okay. And I don't know, because my parents were supportive, so I don't know if it was like the therapist or growing up in Texas, but I was really, there was definitely this turning point when I realized I needed to grow my hair out and I needed to be different. I needed to fit in because the way I was not okay. I wish that I had spoken to my parents, because my parents always supported me, and I just hated myself so much that I just didn't speak to anyone. So if there was anyone who was going to support me, they couldn't be there for me because I wouldn't talk to them. And so I wish I had done that, because I think had I spoken up, then I would have found, help. So I would have told myself to talk to someone I felt safe around, just to begin with, instead of just pushing everything deep inside. And, I think that's the only way I could stop hating myself. And it really wasn't, the first time, it wasn't until I got older in high school and for me, and meeting new people, that I really started to open up to this idea that maybe it was okay. In high school I went to a school with 4,500 students, and I still wasn't okay with it. I made out with a girl and freaked out, and then I dated some boys subsequently, and that was horrible. And I think I still had long hair, but I really struggled. A lot of it for me was internalized and just really not being okay with who I was. And I think part of it was that as a child, traumatic things happened. Because kids are mean, and when you're at summer camp, I remember I was very timid as a child, and I think I was 11. This was when I still had short hair. And I think right after this I grew out my hair, but a counselor thought I was a boy, and so the whole summer, I didn't correct her because I was scared. And so the whole summer, all the kids argued about whether I was a boy or a girl, and I was just terrified. I just didn't know how to deal with this. And like I said, I just didn't know anyone like me, and so I think the reason it got better, and one of the things that's amazing now with the internet and everything, is that, as I started to meet people who are like me, and that started with, I worked at this bagel shop when I was 17, and there was this older gay guy who worked there, and he was just awesome, and I would talk to him about it. I didn't come out until I was 18, which at that time, I had a group of older lesbians who, took me under their wing, and I had other friends who would go to Hatch, which was towards, other gay youth meeting each other. And I think that finding, looking for other people like you, whether that be you find a community on the internet if you're in some small town in the middle of nowhere, or finding at your school, a gay-straight alliance, or, because for me, I couldn't, having that support allowed me to start being okay with who I am. And now, if some woman yells at me in the bathroom, I don't care. Just because I'm different that's not a bad thing, and other people's ignorance doesn't define who I am.